Greetings. Goddamn, I appreciate you. Salute to everybody, man. Yeah, sorry about that. No, I had to fix this rapper, but salute to everybody. Welcome to the experience. Welcome to class. We have to start saying that. Welcome to class. It's a pleasure to be doing these teachings from the perspective of a man, a son, a father, a husband. It's incredible to have that experience, man. For me, living in such a society, man, that it's in demand. You know what I mean? It's even for me as a man, it's really awful out here. It's really awful, like awful. And it's sad because as a man, you know, not being into men, you know what I mean? I'm not, I'm a heterosexual male, so that's another thing I should have put on the list: a heterosexual male, a proud heterosexual male. You know, and I say this because heterosexual males, a real heterosexual male, is as straight as you're gonna get. Sometimes you may have a man and you may think, oh, he's not heterosexual. I mean, he's heterosexual. I'm like, nah, you actually probably have a man that's in the closet, because a lot of men, they take advantage of women to basically live out their fantasies through women, and you don't know, you know what I mean? Like, women just don't know, you know what I mean? They have no clue about a male nature, man. It's just really awful. Like, I've been learning the female nature more recently. There's things that I just found out recently. I'm serious. Things that I found out in recent years, recent months, recent weeks, recent days, that I learned from women. And the more and more I'm learning, the more and more it's making sense to everything in my past. You know what I mean? Like, it really is. Like, everything is starting to reflect. You know what? You know what a good reflection is, as having an iPhone. I don't know if Android users do this, but I know our phones kind of give you this mode of visiting memory lane, and it makes you visit memory lane in a way of, 10 years ago, you see this picture. I haven't seen 15 years on the phone yet, but it's always like 10 years ago, 5 years ago, 4 years ago. You're like, wow. And it was crazy, man. Like, I had a female friend that totally just got worse the older we got, right? So I didn't, the reason why I said older we got, because she wasn't just getting older, I was getting older too. But I didn't realize how the thing I was taught from my father, how when a woman gets older, they are set with a lot of challenges. You know what I mean? And we all hear that. You know what I'm saying? But then it's like, I was also taught that men set a lot of challenges. There's challenges that we deal with physically and sexually and all these different things. As you get older, you have to eat better and do better and maintain a certain diet and a certain weight as you get older, because you know what I mean, women are going to peak at a certain age, and when we may have challenges. I was taught that, you know what I mean? So I'm very, very aware of that, like, constantly. Like, that's just devastating to me, where I had a friend of mine, and he was telling me how he had this threesome with these two girls, and he had to take a pill for that. And I'm just like, man, if I got to do all that, You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna even bother. You know, if I get to that point where you gotta have sex with two women, number one, I feel that having a threesome is just the most overrated thing in the world. Like I just never understood that, and I've done a few of them. You know what I'm saying? Um, a menage a trois, to say the least, because it's like two women. You know, a real threesome is really two men and a woman. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't as freaky as I thought. You know what I'm saying? There's certain things I just, you know. And I learned that through my pops too, where it was like, you got to know that you can't leave room for, if a man claims in his head that he's a heterosexual male because he never been with a man, that doesn't necessarily mean he won't. You understand? Like, now I'm starting to see how things increase now. You're starting to see the trends change. Guys want all this wild stuff done to them, and it's just like, and the women just follow it. They just follow everything, like they follow it, and then they fight for it. Then they try to tell you, well, my man, and it's just like, yo, man, like, did you learn anything from your father, nigga? Like, and they know we didn't, you know what I mean? Because I was talking to a friend yesterday, and I even had to tell her, I'm like, I don't remember a time that I legit met a woman that was so impacted by her father that it didn't allow me to do certain things with her. I don't think I've ever, in my past, I don't think I ever encountered that. You know what I'm saying? And this is deep, because some people are like, well, I thought having a 2-parent household. It all depends. You can have a 2-parent household and you can not grow up with a father, and if your father ain't teaching you the game, it's useless. And it's very hard on YouTube to do this too, because YouTube just filters everything, man. They just make things. They filter the word daughter, son, kid. They filter things that are needed for us to talk about. And the only reason why I don't talk about these things a lot, it's not because I don't like to. It's because they don't promote the video. They don't give you a notification. And they don't inspire you to do more. They inspire me to, black women are trash. And that video doesn't, you know what I mean? That shit goes far. But then when I do these things where I'm just like, yo, y'all only in the position you in because your pops ain't teach you about us. And that's starting to become a thing for me. So before I get started, I want to give a disclaimer. This is a masterclass for the time that I have. We did a quick little stream yesterday, and the stream was funny because I only did like 10 minutes. And it's, it's just crazy to me, because it's just like, man, it's just, let me see. It's just, it just bugs me out. It trips me out where, okay, I'll give an example. So it's like living in a society, right, where you live in this area, in this block, and it's like a whole bunch of copper in this one house, and it's just like nobody's maintaining it. Nobody's in this house. You could go in there and rack up all this copper and take it to the scrap and make tons of money, right? Like a lot of copper. I'm talking like buckets and buckets of that shit, right? And it's just sitting there. You're not taking advantage of it. And all you got to do is just grab a bucket and just legit, right? There's so many different, examples, but the same thing with women, right? It's just, it's so, I wouldn't want to use the word easy, but just because of this title that all fathers. This ain't just black fathers. Fathers fear teaching their daughters the nature of men. They fear teaching the nature of men to their daughters. And now when you get on social media and you do these things, it's hard to put it out because there's words in your title that you just can't use. That's why y'all don't see me using the words son, daughter, and child. It's very, very it's very frustrating. And you know, for me having a channel, a bigger channel before, I've seen the change. I remember when we used to be able to use titles just for clickbait. You know, like we could use a celebrity's name just to bring traffic to it and then change it later. And you just, now you can't do that because now they filter celebrity names, especially if they're big. The video won't go nowhere. They will purposely put one person in your chat just to distract you. So you're not going to use it when you see one person in your chat versus 50 people. So it could be very, distracting. So, we just want to give a disclaimer of, this is why I don't tend to do these videos, but, this is something that you should take personal because this involves everybody. Your peers, the people around you, all the above. So you should take it personal. It's a warning. Moving along. You look at a situation out here where men have no confidence in a world where women are desperate for love. Women will do anything. It's because this is the reality. If a woman is not getting what she needs, she will fail. She's just gonna crack up. It's human nature. You know what I mean? Like, I don't care how much she tries to look beyond it. It's needed. And the most men wasn't taught the game from their dads, so all they know how to do is take advantage. So they take advantage, and you're gonna take advantage of the opportunity. And it's just this was what it's meant. This whole situation, for example, with Rihanna and that whole situation, something is very, 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 very fishy with that. And it's a scandal that, again, it just, now we got to start doing forensics in situations because these celebrity-based things, man, they just don't keep it a stack. They just don't. It's always lies, you know what I mean? You look at like T.I. and Tiny, right? You look good, boss. You got T.I. and Tiny, and you see these two, and T.I. and Tiny, excuse me, they were involved. A lot of people don't know, man. These two got a major sex scandal going on, man. And shout out to Lonnie, shout out to VM. What's up, baby? Shout out to my baby. You know what I mean? These are my girls here. First of all, Lonnie, you already know. Like, we here, you know what I'm saying? And then, salute to VM with your fine ass. Come on now. So, to the top of the morning, two fine sisters to jump up in the, you know what I'm saying? From two different regions of the United States, mind you. So I'm blessed, you know what I mean? But anyway, so T.I. and this is how it goes with me. I'm not as much of a freak as I thought I was. You know what I'm saying? I'm just not, because I could never imagine having a wife and making her to a freak for my sexual pleasure. I you know what I mean? Everything is a limit, right? So now you go get a prostitute to fulfill that. You just like, man, now you're paying for sex. Or you got another woman and it's just like, she's a side piece and it's just like, you know, it's some pussy, you know, like. So I feel that definitely from my life, I don't, I can't get into the extra. And this has a lot to do now that I'm a father. You know, there's certain things I can't get into a woman anymore. Because now, once I start looking at you as a man's daughter, I'm going to go soft. It'll ruin me. That's good for my wife, you know what I'm saying? But it will, because once I'm in a fantasy of the non, like you're, I would have to dehumanize you just to have an affair. I would. I would have to know. When I watch porn, that's dehumanizing, right? So if I see a woman like that and I'm in a dehumanizing mindset, I'm good. Then once I humanize you, then I'm no good. I'm in father zone. I'm fucked. You know what I mean? Having a daughter literally changed me in that sense. So there's situations of, you know, dealing with a woman emotionally, unlimited affection, unlimited emotion, unlimited love, like constant, like you gotta do that all the time. You know what I'm saying? And I feel with a lot of people don't really understand the mode of what they're looking at. You know, you look at Rihanna and ASAP Rocky, and I remember me looking at them, and I'm just like, yo, what in the fuck? Like, what in the fuck, man? This is gonna be terrible, terrible, terrible PR. Everything is bad about that relationship. Cause Rihanna's a slut. ASAP Rocky's a down low gay man. And they're giving this image. They're giving this terrible. Yo, when he got cleared off of that damn murder or that shooting he did, I was actually like, damn. In a fucked up way, I just was like, you know what? Fuck him. You know what I mean? Because I want somebody to be an example of suffering so women could see I won't go down that. Now Rihanna's walking around with that baseball cap, dirty nigga from Harlem. It's over. Cause she's gonna have a bigger impression than any man. Because they're celebrities. And celebrities are politicians. You should just be celebrities. But Donald Trump changed that shit. Celebrities are politicians, man. They can make you go into a cult. Ain't nobody stopping that except God. You understand what I'm saying? You know, so he said 3 kids deep. It ain't about the 3 kids deep. It's not about that, Chris. It's not about the 3 kids deep. It's the fact of a woman at this billionaire status she lives like most women. That I know women that live like her. You know, mothers that's having, these motherfuckers is freaks, man. ASAP Rocky and Rihanna do entanglements, man. That's just what it is. And she let go of her whole singer career for this fucking piece of shit. She did. Oh yeah, she got into other things. No, niggas don't want to see the other things. They want to see artists, man. People need inspiration. They want to see that artist make a record. You understand? And ASAP Rocky and Rihanna are what do they symbolize? They symbolize, you know what I mean? What? What do they symbolize? They're gonna, to the average black male, they're gonna look at the 3 kids, just like Chris did, right? The black woman is gonna keep seeing a motherfucker. So now when they see that beard and hat son of a bitch on the street, that fucking criminal, she's gonna be like, oh, he looks like ASAP. It's not giving us any mode of doing better. And let's not get it fucked up. Rihanna had her dad. But that doesn't mean anything. A two-parent household, yes, it does add on to a level of a woman. It does. But if the father did not teach her the nature of man, she's going to end up like everybody else. She ain't no different. A lot of y'all suck a dick. Y'all sucked a man's dick before, and you probably even let him fuck you in that doo-doo hole. And the reason why you did that is because you wanted to please him. It's not like you wanted to do it. You wanted to do it because society's doing it. You probably watched the porn, you see the woman screaming, you're like, oh, that shit looks a little interesting. And meanwhile, you doing what a gay man does. It's no different. And it's actually useless for you because you don't have a prostate. It's useless for a woman to get fucked in the ass. It's all mental with that. With gay men, you know what I mean? They have prostate glands, which is equivalent to you having a clit, which is a little nasty, but your clit and your vagina, his prostate gland in his asshole. And you know what I mean? You just keep getting bamboozled because your dad is not going to teach you that. He's not going to tell you about your pussy and, you know, what men like and, you know, 69. He's not going to have that conversation with you. Your fucking boyfriend is. Okay? See, back in the days, the fathers would pull a gun on the boyfriend and tell him, listen, if you do, whatever you do to my daughter, I'm going to do to you. They don't do that anymore. You got to put that shotgun to his fucking head or just cock it. I don't care how old you are. You could be in a wheelchair. You got to cock that fucking shotgun to that bastard. And if you're not going to give him that fear, he's going to destroy your daughter. And she's not going to know any better because she's glutton for punishment because her nature is love. A$AP Rocky and Rihanna are very, very, very influential to black culture. They are. And the more and more people don't realize this. Shout out to Obi-Wan Steph. He said kids look up to these shittos. Yeah, of course. I mean, who else do they have to look up to? You look at the grandpas of the Jim Joneses and Fab. These niggas is old. You got to remember what a 50-year-old man was in the 1970s. We're not going to get into the fucking 40s. The older you go back, the longer you go back, the people were more mature. So now our culture has changed now because nobody wants to get old. Nobody. They got surgeries, they have lifestyles, they got music. Hip-hop fucking ruined us. So as a person gets older, they don't want to get old. Niggas lying about their age. We got AI now. It's over. 50 Cent got a video now. He's in an AI video, but in the video, he's 10, 15 years younger. You can do that. If you can't do that, then surgery, right? So if the kids don't have no one to look up to, because now the parents want to be young and the young want to be old, they're all fucked up because they're like, well, shit, if I'm trying to be a grown person, which most kids want to be, they want to be grown. And the old person wants to be young. So if they're looking up to the people that want to be young again, it's sort of like, yo, it's like a fucking boomerang. So it's bad. No, she's not a smut because she dated Drake and Chris Brown. That doesn't make her a smut. That's not what I'm saying. It's not because she dated them. It's most women would love to date Drake and Chris Brown. So that's just the reality. It doesn't make her a smut. The level of slut that I know is because I'm a father, I'm a man. I could look at a woman and know a woman's a slut. So it's not about her. Let me correct you respectfully. It's not about that. That's what the men on social media. It's gonna urge you. She's this. You don't want to talk like that wounded male. Like he's worthless. He's useless. He's worthless. And I hope they put him at war and hopefully he gets shot and dead because they're useless to us. That mindset is useless to black society. It's not helping. It's just not. It's sort of like, I just had a video that I did for 5-7 minutes and I said, yo, how to meet a woman. And it went, that video is not going to get any views because it's not giving men want that shit delivered to their door. They don't want to put in the work. So now when they look at a woman like Rihanna, not saying you will be one step, just using you as an example, just using this as an example. They rather diss Rihanna than suck Drake and Chris Brown's dick. That's just the society of black males, you know what I mean? That's why I don't fuck with niggas. I don't have a hatred for them. I have a strong, very dislike for men, you know? Number one, I'm not attracted to men, so they gross me out, you know? If I see a man barefooted, it'll make me fucking throw up. I'm serious. I'll start puking. No bullshit. So if your foot looks like a man, that's why I'm in the from women's feet so much. Because if you have a manly foot, you know what I mean? It'll fuck with me. That's the strong dislike I have for male, and that's just natural. That's my natural nature. You know, there's no I don't see what the fuck you see in us. So to see two niggas fucking each other up the ass is, or the nigga want to suck a nigga's dick, it truly bugs me out. But nobody will diss Drake and Chris Brown. They'll diss Rihanna. That's just how the world is. So in order to teach these niggas, you know, it's impossible. That's the next life if they make it there, you know what I mean? So this, thank you, Jay, this layout, why y'all don't like, oh, yo, you should teach the men. To teach the men how to get a woman is, you would have to pay me because I would have to physically bring the woman to you. So, and you would have to come here to New York. I'm not coming to where you live. You know what I mean? You got to come here because I already know what's going to happen. I don't know what's going to happen over where you live, you know what I mean? But I know what's going to happen over here. It's guaranteed. That's why I'm going to charge you. And you're going to pay every bit of that shit. And it's going to be fucking expensive. If you're taking me away from my wife and daughter, you're going to pay. You know what I mean? The woman will pay less. You know what I mean? Because they lack the teaching. You know what I mean? So I say all this to say she's not a slut for that. She's a slut in her nature. The physical nature, light-skinned woman, she's attractive, she's shapely, and she's in America. She's been Americanized. Come on, man. I mean, you know what they're going to do to that? All these fucking download niggas going to want their ass and dick sucked. That's what they're going to want here. So she's going to have to deliver that. And now her man is just, these niggas are celebrities. You know what they going to want. You know what all these damn drug-using, junkie celebrities they date. You understand? So you know what it is, regardless. I don't care if she dates Chris Brown or the next door neighbor. We're in America. Unless she's a virgin, you know what she already did in her past. If you have a woman, you kissed her in the mouth, nigga, she sucked a few dicks before you kissed her. That's just the reality. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't make you gay, but it's just the reality that her mouth she sucked another man's dick one day or another. Maybe currently. You see what I'm saying? So men don't know. Men don't know the difference of a slut. He just goes by because he watched it in porn. And then he believes his mind is like, yo, these girls is all through. But he can't even achieve none of the shit he sees in adult film, which is pretty pathetic. You know, I see this guy complaining the other day. I think it was Beat Makers or whatever his name is a producer. He was talking about how women weaponize you when you open up to them, and that's why he don't open up to a woman. I'm like, yo, you know what, man? I mean, I get that, but, you know, like, if you was fucking a woman, nigga, and y'all was on a videotape, how the fuck could she weaponize you? How could she weaponize you? You got her on video. This is the climate we in. We in a climate now where niggas are walking around with meta glasses, recording every fucking thing. Anytime you see a guy with glasses, be careful. He's recording you. Black glasses, big black flames. There's a camera in the fucking glasses, man. That's the type of freaky shit we dealing with right now. You understand? So, how do we all get to this? How do we all get to this? Because the fathers, not only the fathers are not teaching his son, most fathers don't even want to deal with a fucking son. You know what I mean? You know, they rather see that daughter come out the mother because that'll humble him. You know what I'm saying? Sons don't humble you like that daughter. The daughter humbles you. If you believe me, father and son, that's why the daughters become daddy's little girl. You know, I see the humbling with me. I can't fuck a woman with a bare pussy. I can't be with a woman with a shaved pussy. I can't even do it. Not at this time. I had no problem before. I definitely ain't eating nobody out. You can forget that. I may be destroyed with that for the rest of my life. It fucked me up having a daughter. It did. In a good way. Because now what ended up happening, the things that I'm going to have to teach her humbled me. That alone. The things that have humbled me, amen, the things that have humbled me is the things that I'm going to have to teach her. This shit here is a whole different level, man. Being a dad and having a little girl. I don't know how niggas have children, have a wife, and use their wife as a sex pot. But then I don't know how a nigga could step out on his wife and go out and eat another girl's pussy and come home to his kids and got to kiss his daughter in the face. I don't. All that shit connects now. That's why God gave me a daughter, because he knows I was a dirty dog. And I'm still suffering because it ain't easy. You know, it's not overnight. But it definitely did a drastic change. So when people say, oh, it changes you, right? You can't talk to a woman like, yeah, it changed me. It changed me. Yeah, it changed. My sister, oh, is it having her? Doesn't it change you? I'm like, yeah, because she has a son. So it's like, yeah, it changes you. I can't have that conversation with her. I can't have that conversation with my sister as a man. So just imagine if I can't have that conversation with my sister without it becoming a fucking argument or a debate or I disagree, because now she's older. How am I going to have this with my daughter? Now, challenge a man. I just challenged the men how to meet women. You think anybody's going to wake up and go out in the street and meet a woman today? No, they're not going to do it. No courage, no confidence, excuses, social media, believe everybody is a slut. You can't, I don't care what you tell these niggas, it ain't going to work. Nobody's going to listen to that video. And if they call me and say, yo, Nate, what you think? You know, I met this girl. Yo, they got to come to me and say, yo, Nate, I'm ready to come to New York. Can you put me on to a pretty bitch? And I'm going to be like, yeah, it's going to cost you fucking $5,000. And they're going to say, that's a lot. I'm like, well, I mean, that's what it is. Up to you. You know what I mean? Because if Chris Brown asks you for $5,000 or Drake, you fucking give it to them. And them niggas is rich. If I'm going to provide a service on something I don't like to do because it's something you can do, you're going to pay. You're going to pay me for that. You know, you got to look at money as a credit card fucking swipe at that point because you're going to pay me. But needless to say, moving along, let me just get to this. Whether it's T.I. and Tiny, Will Smith and Jada, or Rihanna and A$AP Rocky. You know, I don't know if y'all know, but A$AP Rocky and Rihanna are swingers. I'm going to tell you what happened. That woman that shot up a house, how the fuck does a woman get close enough to know where Rihanna lives and threw a bullet into the house. Was a pretty girl, pretty ass woman. How do you explain that? How in the fuck does a woman have I don't know where Rihanna lives, do you? How do these people have the ability, the privilege to know Rihanna's house? See, a lot of y'all niggas be not realizing when you have a house, you're a target. Like, I think celebrities, y'all need to like move up in a condo, nigga. Like, move up in a building in Manhattan where there's 400 apartments. You have lifestyle, you know, you live in a multi-million-dollar condo. You got doorman, security, all types of shit. You could get lost in the building. You can't get lost in a house. What happened is this woman, I'm telling you, watch it come out. This woman was fucking both of them. That's what happened. She was fucking both of them, and they probably gave her dirt, and she did what women will do when she lacks love and attention. She's going to react. And she tried to kill him. Well, she shot the house. She ain't trying to kill him. You know what I'm saying? So now it's, attempted murder. What about her story? You know what they're going to have to do? They're going to have to first of all, they're going to have to watch. They're going to take that attempted murder shit off there. Because if she gets whim of any damn podcaster and they get her story on that jail phone, they're going to have to get her out and pay her. Because she's about to open up a can of worms. You watch. Okay? Why does she do that? Is anybody talking to her? Oh, she's just a crazy fan that's obsessed. Yeah, and all her fans are going to believe it because they're under her cult. Let me tell you what happened with that woman. That woman is no different than Rihanna, no different than you, and you are a product of your environment. You are no different. You could flex on women, be jealous of each other, old bitch, young bitch. It don't matter. None of y'all had fathers to teach y'all shit. That's why we fuck y'all over. That's why we use your excess sex pots. No matter how much you think, unless you got that man as an impact male, you're not controlling him. How could you control a man unless you got him on 24-hour watch and security? And why would you don't want that. You want something like Chris Brown, looks like Chris Brown, looks like Drake, looks like A$AP Rocky, because all the celebrities dated them. Shout out to Nugo, shout out to Lonnie, shout out to Obi-Wan Steph, shout out to Jake, shout out to Ray D. You think, I already heard an intense confirmation that, and I heard this years ago, that Rihanna is a freak. The thing is with Jay-Z, nobody really knows what's going on with Beyonce and Jay-Z. There's something going on there too, because their relationship has never felt good. You know, let me give an example. You ever watch an AI video and they show you like celebrities that passed away and they showing them like, you know, the Sanford's son, and he's in front of his truck, and you're just like, this is fake because it doesn't feel real. See, one thing about human interaction, we can feel something that's real. You can look at an AI video and know that it's fake. Even if it's the person that's still alive. It's weird. You can tell, right? But when you look at this woman in this prison outfit, you just gonna look, this crazy bitch, she was just a fan that was crazy. Right. That's what they're gonna put out there. Wait till the fucking story comes out later. They're gonna have to get this bitch out of jail, and you're gonna hear nothing else about it. They're gonna have to give this bitch like $5 million, give her a therapist, psychiatrist, put her on meds so she don't ever open up her mouth. Because they gotta keep her quiet now. You know, I couldn't imagine, man, at what level does a man have his wife do threesomes with your kids in the other room? There's kids that seen that shit, that grew up and peeped in the door. You didn't see them seeing it. But do you think kids are going to tell you the next morning? they're going to see it and say, oh my God, now they're traumatized. You know, the fact that you got, even with the gay men, they're like, oh, they want to adopt kids. What happens when the kids hear you moaning and shit, fucking your husband? Like, I don't think it's right. I think the problem in this society is the society. The problem is with men, fathers do not teach their daughters the nature of men because they fear it. They do. They fear. I don't know a man that taught his daughter the game, not even my father. My father didn't teach my sisters the law of man, and when he tried to, it was too late. That shithole got to them. He didn't teach them. We grew up in a 2-parent household. He secured them, he protected them, he'll kill a motherfucker over them. But he taught me. Shout out to New Goals. He didn't teach them. He just never taught them. He couldn't do it. And the reason why is because our male nature is so sickening, so disgusting. How in the fuck is a man going to talk to his daughter about the male nature? How's he going to do that? He's not a virgin. He had the baby. Him and the mother popped to have the child. Oh, my dad taught me the game. He did. No, he didn't. He did not. Your father didn't teach you shit. He didn't. You're lying. It's impossible. No man taught his daughter the fucking damn nature of a man. Do you understand the level that he has to do? He may have tried. You may have thought he did because he could talk to you about the birds and the bees, but you don't get it because that society is going to have a bigger impact on you than your dad. If you live in the shadow of your father, then we could talk. But most of you don't, because being grown is fucking a man. Being grown is doing what you want to do. Being grown is not listening to what a person has to say. Think about it. Especially with crackers. You ever see how a white boy talks to his mother? Now black kids do that shit, especially the boys. And the mother protects it. She'll smack the shit out of her daughter, but she won't smack the shit out of that pussy-ass fatherless son. No, she won't. And then you think when a man comes up, he better not talk to my son. No, your father's, your mother's boyfriend should put a foot in his ass before it's too late. When y'all niggas is dealing with these women that got sons, and the mother's like, nobody tells my kids what to do, don't fuck with her, leave her alone. Because if that kid turns on you, you're fucking cooked. Especially the son. He's a bitch. These niggas is baby boys. They no fucking good. You got to watch them. You know, I'm not really against dealing with mothers with children, man, but, you know, it got to be a good kid that just loves mommy. He's all right. But once it's that shitty-ass nigga with the little fly shit out of his mouth and that mother ain't busting his ass, nah. I don't want no parts of that. I don't have to. Nobody wants to deal with him. Nobody wants to hire him for a job. You know, he knows he has to go to school and college because nobody's going to want to deal with him. So even the men lack it because most men that have kids, it was a mistake, especially in a black society. So he really doesn't want to deal with it. He did it because he wanted to bust a nut in the mother. He don't want to deal with raising kids, first grade, second grade, fifth grade, getting up early, going to teacher conferences and shit, sitting them doing homework at late at night. He don't want to deal with that shit. Especially niggas is lazy. They don't want to deal with that. Niggas is lazy as fuck, mind lazy. The only thing a man gonna do something is if he's in pursuit of some pussy. Once again, he's in pursuit of pussy. He in pursuit of like, yo, let's start a family. I want a whole bunch of children. I want my kids to carry on my name. I want to educate them. That's not the mindset of today's men at all. These niggas have babies because it's a result of the mother and them fucking. That's all it is. You think Rihanna and them, you think this nigga busted a nut in Rihanna? It's Rihanna, nigga. Every man gonna want to bust a nut in Rihanna. Shit, I'll bust a nut in Rihanna. You think these niggas want to sit here and be a father? No, they're gonna freak out because Rihanna got that big fat ass, she's sucking dick and all, and he fucking her raw. She like, yo, I'm pregnant. That's all that was. Them kids ain't coming out of love. Most of y'all are not the result of love. Ask your mother and father how it happened. Why he ain't around no more. She ain't gonna tell you the truth. That's gonna be another thing she gonna take to her grave. She ain't gonna tell you that. She ain't gonna tell you it was a slip up. She thought the nigga had a condom, and now you're in the world trying to navigate men. That's why y'all ain't navigating shit. Some of y'all now are dating women. Y'all don't know what the fuck to do. Because you can't be loved. You're like a plant without water. And you need it. You gotta feed a woman with love. You know, you can survive without food, but you need water. A woman cannot survive without love. She just can't. Mentally, she can't. She'll crash out. This woman here that you're looking in the camera, looking in the damn screen, okay? Beautiful woman. A$AP Rocky's a dark-skinned, charcoal-ass nigga. You know how they are. They insecure as a motherfucker because you know what he went through when he was young, called ugly. Okay? So now he gonna take all that shit out on light-skinned women. That's how they do. And he gonna want her to do what white girls do. He gonna want her to do all that shit that they do in the porn, all right? Rihanna's a freak. She's a pussy sucker, dick sucker, all that. So that's why I told Obi-Wan Steph, he told me he been with Chris Brown. I said, no, nigga, she was fucking her. Rihanna was fucking this woman here. Rihanna and A$AP Rocky. The question is, where's the kids? You know what y'all do? Oh, paparazzi. You tell the publicist to call paparazzi, let's walk outside with the kids. They don't raise them kids. They got mammies on all them. Where's the kids at when they doing all these orgies? Where's the kids at? Imagine you doing an orgy and your kids and shit is doing homework with the fucking babysitter. How much of a piece of shit are you? You and your husband was fucking girls and niggas, and your kids are clueless to it. That affects them. That's going to fuck with all that energy goes right into your children, even though they didn't see it because of you are a connection to your mother and father. That's why a lot of y'all are so fucked up. It got a lot to do with your mother and father was doing in that dark world. They don't really tell you. A lot of y'all don't even know your fathers, which is horrible. But women suffer more. A man, he just needs a human touch. But that woman, she needs affection. And without affection, forget it. She's going to be on Pornhub. When you watch all those women on Pornhub getting fucked by 10 men, and she's coming and y'all watching all that, a man's going to get, ooh, that shit look good. Because that's his nature. He's a nasty fuck. We have a very animalistic nature, an animal. You ever looked at an animal, a male animal, he'll stick his dick in another dog, shit on the floor and walk away. That's a fucking animal. That's the same way with that black bastard or any man in your house that leaves the dishes in the sink. That's his animalistic nature. You have a nurturing nature. That's why you see more women teachers than men. Go to any school. You ain't gonna see a whole bunch of teachers that are men in there, even though we need it. They're women. I seen this bus driver the other day sitting outside, and for some reason I just had my eyes glued to them, right? There was a few bus drivers, they outside the bus, it's a nice day, they wait for the kids, and a group of kids was running to this one school bus, and I heard this brother go, yo, 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 yo. And I was like, even I turned around like, oh shit, I heard that bass. That's exactly what he said. Yo, 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 yo. And whatever it was, they stopped in their tracks because they got to hear that man. It's amazing. I could tell a baby crying if it's a girl or boy. There's a difference. When I see my daughter first get born, I stared at her hands. I said, look at her hands. That's a woman's hand. That's a female. That fucked me up. Then when I changed her, forget it, I was done. Now when she's in a tub, oh man, I'm ruined. When you willingly want to be a father, it will fucking humble you. It won't humble you when you're not willingly, because you would have to stay in the animalistic mindset. But when you are in a father mindset, it will humble you. A woman will humble you. You're going to look at every woman as a daughter. I'm not perfect. I made mistakes, but every time I made a mistake, I wasn't in that zone. The biggest task I'm going to have in my life is teaching her. That's going to be a motherfucker. And I'm not looking forward to it. I'm taking every day, but I can't make the day go slower. Once she starts developing, oh my goodness. I got to do it. I got no choice. You understand? This is part of being a father. And it fears me. But I know what my dad didn't do. I know what my uncles didn't do. You know, all my father's side of the family, everybody was over the 6'5", 6'6", 6'8", 6'10", grandfather 6'10". You know what these niggas was doing back in the day? Forget it. Forget it. Now when I see a woman, I'm like, damn. And I'm thinking of like a man, then I'm thinking about, oh, fuck. There's going to be a time I'm going to leave this world and my daughter's going to be a grown woman. You see what I mean? Then levels me right out. It's different. If children don't bring solace to you or change your mindset for better, you're going to be fucked. I don't care if you're a celebrity. It ain't going. What y'all watching now with all these entanglements and shit, it's been happening. You know what I mean? But what happens? You marry a freak like that. How do you respect a wife, man, that you seeing her eating another woman's pussy and you hitting the shit from the back? I mean, that would turn me off. Number one, I couldn't be with a woman like that. I don't like shit like that. Regardless of my mindset, or even in my animalistic mindset, that shit doesn't turn me on one bit. So now a woman may come to me and think, oh yeah, I could get I could do this to him and get him away from her. I've said, shit, go ahead and try. See how fucking embarrassed you get. That ain't gonna work. I'm not into that. You turn me on better, just fucking not throwing some pussy at me. I'm serious. Because now I'm taking it like, well, you treat me like every other fucking man. I know we ain't shit, but goddamn, do you have anything else? She wasn't taught. You know, I could speak for men. And I'm going to tell you something that's their sad truth. No man's going to teach their daughter the nature of men. They're just not. Well, Nate, what about you? I didn't get there yet. My daughter's 5 years old. I could freeze when I get to that motherfucker. I could tell you a whole bunch. I didn't get there yet. But I tell you one thing for sure. I never encountered a woman that a man taught the daughter about the nature of a man. Never. Because what they did showed me. Never. And I've been on this earth for a long time. I've never encountered a woman with that. Ever. Ever. A lot of times when y'all see these niggas around their daughters, you don't know. You don't know what he's into. He could be into some freaky shit, man. And that energy fucks with your kids. If the mother and father are freaks, the kid's gonna be a fucking freak. You gotta think like that. I don't care how much you fucking hide it from them, they're freaks. All they gotta do is see one, nigga, all they gotta do is see one anything. They could see you in your fucking, they could see you in your drawers. They could see a naked picture of the father. It could fucking traumatize them. That's why a lot of y'all pay that shit through your kids. Whether it's you or the man you were with. That's a DNA issue, man. And it becomes more of a DNA issue because nobody breaks the curse of it. They'll tell you, oh, diabetes runs in your family, cancer. You know, there's a lot of that shit. If you be aware, you could avoid it. But if you know that it affects your family, you got to think about, well, freakiness is a big thing on my damn dad's side of the family, on my mother's side. There's a lot of freaks, a lot of gay activity, a lot of lesbians. You know, I got 4 gay uncles. That's a DNA issue, man. You got to take that shit as serious as knowing that diabetes runs in your family. Well, if you have it in your family, you can get it. Well, not all the time. If you're aware of it, if you put the awareness on, you could reverse that. No, we are living in shit right now, man. Because y'all influenced by the wrong information. Don't believe these 2 motherfuckers. Don't believe it. They're no fucking good. ASAP Rocky is bad for Rihanna. Rihanna is an example of her father didn't teach her. She's no good. I mean, he's no good for her. No fucking good. So what's going to happen is women are going to get inspired by that shit. Say we could have all these damn things they're going to do. And mind you, the cat ain't out the bag yet. That's why Chris Brown be beating his girls up, because he freaking busts a nut in their face and then he wants her not to do it with nobody else. Or he does a threesome with it. She sees she sucked this man's dick and now he want to beat her up. Diddy used to do that. Did he watch Cassie do all that shit? They want to beat her up. Oh, you liked it, right? Oh, you did. You know, there's some sick motherfuckers out here. And you do it. Why does she do it? Because she loved them. I'm telling you, you got that shit, man. You better find out what runs in your family, man. If all your fucking uncles are fucking dirtbags, okay, that's a disease, man. That ain't a coincidence. That's a disease. You got to take that shit more seriously than fucking cancer, because cancer is random. Yeah, it affects you, but it depends. You may not make it to see it. You may not make it here in life to see it, but you know that DNA of that shitty uncle, nigga, the minute you're born, that's affecting you. If all the women on your life and your bloodline are male pleasers, she has to have the father there unconditionally, because it's a disease that affects the family bloodline. You know, you got to know your last name, then you got to look at your mother's maiden name. That shit matters. You know, they're not going to tell you that through Ancestry.com or 23andMe. They ain't going to tell you none of that shit. This is simple logic. What kind of man was your grandfather? Oh, he left my grandmother. Uh-oh. That's your great-great-grandfather. That's your grandfather, nigga. There ain't too many far generations away. Okay, so that means shitholes in your bloodline. You got to watch that. Celebrities are devils, man. That's why they call a devil's supposed to influence you. That's the meaning of a devil. When you have rage in your world, and you have road rage, and you want to do something to your neighbor or do something to your friend, that's all the works of the devil. The devil, that's why they tell you the terminology, the devil's busy, because the devil influences you. So with celebrities, they're the epitome of the devil. You're influenced by their impression, by who they are. They can't do no wrong. T.I. and Tani was doing the same shit. They was having orgies all in them houses. T.I., you know what I mean? You know, he from Atlanta, so you probably, you know, he took a dick in his ass and sucked when he had to. He's from Atlanta. Ain't no nigga that live in Atlanta cannot prove to me that he does not have gay in his blood. I'm sorry. Am I lying, ladies and gentlemen? If a man you meet from Atlanta, you got to consider the fact that, that's a bloodline of the fucking damn community. It's black gayness. You meet a man that was born in San Francisco. If you meet a man that lives in San Francisco, okay, chances are he may be gay. You got to treat that shit that way. You understand? So T.I.'s gay ass, and then Tiny, she becomes a freak because he has to have, that's what they do. At 12 years old, he was already trying to stick his dick in the goddamn neighbor's daughter. He ain't trying to love her and say, goddamn, you're going to be my wife one day. Wait till I finish this education and go to school and college. We don't want him. He's a goofball. He's going to come to school with tight sneakers, get all the best grades, then at the embarrassment at the end of the year, the end of the day, and graduate, he's the motherfucking valedictorian. But he's a freak too. Now, he didn't have no pussy or nothing since during high school. All right, what kind of shit is he into? Maybe he may be into little boys, little girls. You just don't know which way to go. When you watch these catch videos where they catching all these damn predators all the time, they always people like, wow, I would have never thought that. All the time. Hasidic Jews, pastors, popes and shit. If a man has a nasty nature, how does he satisfy it? He has to be humbled, or he has to be humbled to avoid all that. Because if he's not receiving none of the nasty demands, and he doesn't have anything to humble him, he's gonna be a disaster. He's gonna fuck around and be a serial rapist one day. He has to be humbled, or his needs need to be met. Period. As a celebrity, and Rihanna had 3 kids from this nigga, he ain't marry her, that is a very, very bad impression for black growth. It's terrible. Because she married a nigga. She could have did better than that. She could have married a brother from Barbados, an island brother. But how does she know? She came to America. Now she got to look American, get rid of the damn, do her hair like an American. This woman is a straight up island girl. But she lives in American grounds. She's going to be a result of that. It's just crazy, man. So you have to be very, very, very mindful that when you're dealing with a woman, there's a job. She's not going to request it. She probably doesn't even know it. But she has to be watered like a plant every single day. If she doesn't, she dies. Period. Keep that in your mindset. She has to hear compliments. She needs affection. She has to see encouragement. Even unconditionally. Even if she gets on your fucking nerves. Now, if she's delivered to you as a grown woman and she's all fucked up, once again, depends what wall you want to climb up on, but she still has a requirement. I don't give a fuck. She could talk all that bullshit. I could care less as long as a man pay the bills. That's all lack of love. Any woman that's on the internet talking to a meatball about her bills need to be paid, white women don't do that. None of these damn traditional non-black women go through that. It's their sister. Because of that fucking ape. You fathers have to humble yourselves, man. I'm telling you. Believe me, I'm in a position now. It humbled me. I've then made mistakes, and I'm like, damn, I wasn't thinking. Now I'm thinking. I'm like, oh wow, I didn't look at it that way. That's why God gives you a daughter to humble you. Kids should humble you regardless, but you know what I mean? For a man, you know what I mean? I feel that a lot of men need to be working in education, but y'all can't do that because you're going to fuck the students. And the female ones that are screwing the students and having sex with the young boys, because they lack affection. That's why they're doing that. And they feel that a key to a man's heart is pornographic. That's not true. It's not. cook, clean, wash his clothes and suck his dick on the couch. I mean, he could just go get a homo for all that. The homo gonna do it better. I don't even understand why a woman even do all that when a gay nigga, a man knows a man. So a gay man's gonna suck a dick better than any woman on the planet Earth. I don't even understand why y'all even playing that game. Some of y'all now become a slut now because you did it so much and now you love it. Once again, you are a product because your father feared teaching you the nature of men. That shit ain't even necessary. You've been groomed into that. Once you groomed, you groomed. That's it. It's just a part of life. You could be groomed into thinking society is about doing this, doing that, owning this, owning that. And well, society got to you. That ain't true. But whatever. You're old enough now, like, you ain't going to change that. You're groomed. To groom somebody is to force them to have a way of thinking. You force a lifestyle onto them, a way of thinking, a mindset, especially a negative one. There's nothing good about being groomed because groom is negative. There's a lot of couples that are into that shit. You know, that's why Satan, like, to take a woman's, take advantage of a woman's vulnerability, you put her in the bed. And then you fuck her with some Ray-Ban glasses with cameras, and then you tape her secretly. And then when y'all break up, you tell her, yeah, that's why you suck my dick. Here's a video to prove it. Okay? There's your trauma. You're finished. How do you trust anybody? Oh, well, they say men throw shit in our face. Well, men hold shit in. Be careful with that. All right? You may throw shit in his face, but he holds shit in. He's worse. At least you throw it in the face, you get it off. He fucking holds it in. He's an emotional fucking goddamn disaster. That's dangerous. You don't want to be around men that hold shit in. I'd rather be around a woman that throws it in your face and she gonna let you know, oh yeah, bitch, well, that's why I lied to you any fucking way. But that fucking man, if you look handsome enough, he gonna think, goddamn, that's who his ex-girlfriend want to fuck. He got sick shit up in his mind. He holds that in. What up, big homie? Niggas have male crushes. They fight that shit. This niggas hear that, but they got a crush on me. Probably like to hear the way I talk, the way I walk. I'm a ladies' man. They jump on my dick, but they drag the woman. I mean, this is the climate that we live in. This ain't no bullshit. I don't allow any of them on IG because they active in my life, let alone give me good advice. Yeah, I mean, you know what I mean? You got to think on this level too. It's almost unavoidable. It's a lottery, like I tell y'all. You know what I mean? If you lucky to meet you a real man, you better keep that shit. Because he going to protect you. He going to school you. He going to teach you. He going to do all the things that there's no social media person's going to teach you. Social media is just full of a whole bunch of wounded niggas. You can't listen to them how to treat him, man. You can't listen to that motherfucker. You don't tell that white bitch that. All right? That's why that white bitches win with black niggas, because they brutalize them the same way they was doing 400 years ago. White women use niggas. And black women fall in love with that fucking ape. You know, if you a wife and you got to have your husband, I suck my husband's dick because that's my job. No, it ain't. That ain't true. You've been groomed to believe that shit. But good luck with that. Because when he goes and fucks another bitch, you going to feel that. No wife should be able to fucking fulfill you're not supposed to be a sex bot. That's a personal thing. Now, if that's your personal preference, then be that. Don't try to put it out at a duty of a wife. That's bullshit. That's not a duty of a wife. That's a duty of a whore. That's what they do. When you go fuck with a damn prostitute, she's going to suck your dick and then she's going to let you screw her. So you're doing the same. I don't understand. What's the difference? She uses a condom. She's actually more safer with it than you, because you having unprotected sex with this shithole and you got a vulnerable fucking vagina. That's what vagina is. The V's for vulnerable. That's all a vagina is, of a vulnerable cavity. It's an opening in your body that's vulnerable. Everything that goes into that shit goes through your bloodstream. I'm telling you. Whether you have kids or not, it affects you. Oh, my father taught me how, man, he taught me about the game. No, I'm not talking about that, loser. Because believe me when I tell you, if your father had taught you the motherfucking game, you'd be with a real man married to him without sucking his dick and letting him fuck you up the ass. That's bullshit. You don't know what that is. You have no fucking clue. How can that be? When I'm a worldly nigga. I never met a woman in my life that was influenced by her father positively. Are you fucking kidding me? That fucking vagina, that's why they call it a vagina. It's called vulnerable. You play with it, you stick a toy in that bitch. You know what I mean? You putting man-made figures up in that shit. We are external. Our love is external. Your love runs deep. Oh, I can fuck a nigga and leave it. No, you can't. That's bullshit. That's bullshit. You're vulnerable. You can't help it. You're a woman. Well, my homeboy, he got a sex change and he's still a man. I don't give a fuck what he tell you. He don't got fallopian tubes. He don't have these internal elements in his body to become a woman. Men are clueless to that shit. Men have no idea. If men looked inside your body in the middle of a goddamn fucking birth and seen a C-section, he'll fucking faint. A C-section is the most ultimate level of looking at a woman's body parts. If you want to see it, don't listen to that shit up. Thank you, New Goals. It's a fact. Just think about all that dick sucking you doing. You've been groomed. That's all it just groomed. Well, I like it. I actually turns me on, Nate. I like satisfaction. Yeah, because you've been groomed. You probably been doing that shit since 12. And your uncle probably taught you to do that. No woman's grown to just say, I want to suck his dick. You're not grown to just do that. He is. A man's nature can look at another boy and say, I want to fuck him when he gets older. That's not your nature. Your nature is to be attracted to a man's species, period, the end. That's your nature. Your nature is to receive love. Your nature is to receive affection. That's your nature. Your nature is not to be abused and dragged. Your nature is not to be in front of a video camera with lights and camera action directors and the niggas fucking you, okay, and making a production out of it and you go home feeling like a queen. That's not your nature. You're not born with an animalistic nature. You have a pussy. When you're born with a dick, we can talk. Chris said, I was never comfortable with a woman calling me daddy. Always threw me off, especially if her pops. Nah, that ain't nothing. Daddy ain't nothing. It ain't nothing. It's something if you telling another nigga daddy. Okay? If you want a woman and she call you, yes, daddy, yes. I mean, ain't no big deal. That's not my point. That doesn't mean shit. She could call you Poppy, nigga. Poppy's still daddy. Puerto Rican bitches call their father Poppy, nigga. Poppy. That's what they said. Poppy means father. If you fucking that Latin bitch and she call you, yes, Poppy, you gonna bust a nut. That's nothing. It's when you with that homo nigga, y'all niggas are fucking each other, you call him daddy. Then we got a problem. Nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with calling a motherfucker daddy. If she call you daddy, ain't nothing wrong with that. Lonnie said, I have a neighbor who has 3 daughters. His youngest is 2 years old. 3 kids, 2 different babies' mamas. He is 50 and still running the streets. I mean, that's a nigga that should be in the war. You should put that nigga in the fucking desert. They don't have no father. He's a piece of shit. And not the fact that he's just 50. I don't care if he was 30. He could be 70. He's still a piece of dirt. 3 daughters, nigga? Psh, 3? And I bet you he still got his needs. Until he see one of them fucking boyfriends fucking his daughter, all that shit's gonna go out the window. But the bad part about it, his daughter's gonna suffer because her father's a piece of dirt. That DNA is gonna fuck them daughters up. They're gonna be hoes. You watch. Listen to this. 3 different babies minors, 3 daughters as young as his 2. Okay? All right? He clearly not around them. All right? He ain't really raising them because if he was raising them, he ain't gonna be running the streets. You can't run the streets and do that. You can't. You cannot run the streets and raise daughters. It just won't, because even if you are and you're coming home and you think it's all good, your daughters are gonna be fucked. They're finished. And they won't even know it. They're gonna be like, I don't understand these men because your father was a piece of shit. Well, he was with my mother for 50 years. Yeah, he probably was, but you don't know what he was doing behind the scenes. You don't know what your mother and father was doing behind the scenes. Maybe they was getting freaky and having entanglements. Wild parties. Come on now. Cocaine and ecstasy. And come on, are you kidding me? You think Jay-Z is sitting there giving Beyonce romantic nights? And no way. Beyonce's nothing but a fucking junkie now, too. She ain't in her right state of mind. She can't be dealing with Jay-Z. It's impossible. And it's affecting 8 kids. How did Jay-Z and Beyonce have 3 children and only one of the kids came out normal? That's crazy. 2 healthy mothers that we think are mother and father. Well, Nate, that could happen to anybody. No. Whose DNA affected them 2 children that have cerebral palsy? That DNA could go back to 20, 40, 70, 80, 100 years ago. I'm just saying. Nobody dug deep into that. Was it because Jay-Z was old? There's a lot of shit with that. But celebrities, y'all don't pay that shit no mind because you're fans. Nicki Minaj's kids, you see. Look at Kanye's daughters. They all fucked up. Look at fucking Will Smith. Look at Will Smith's kids. Twisted. Kissing niggas in the mouth and all that. I mean, what you expect? Fathers are gay, mothers are gay, having sex parties all in a fucking house, man. And y'all think because the kids are stupid because they at grandma's house? But then we believe in spirits when somebody dies. So what you think about when a person's here? That spirit affects your kids. A$AP Rocky and Rihanna are freaks. T.I. and Tiny are freaks. Diddy was a freak. Diddy and Kim Porter were freaks. That's why he killed her. Once you become a sex slave to your husband, you're fucking finished. You're done. So you think a man's gonna go to a father and tell his father, your daughter's required to suck my dick? He ain't gonna go tell her that because he know he gonna get shot. No man is gonna go to a man and tell him that. So how is that? Why does he tell you that? He don't tell the father that. He ain't gonna go to the father and say, your daughter's required to suck my dick, clean my clothes, lick my ass. He gonna say, well, why don't you just go get a motherfucking transsexual? That's their job. You want to promote gay sex on my daughter, and you gonna look me as a father and tell me about that nigga will blow his head off. Daddy, what happened to him? I don't know. He disappeared. Bury his fucking ass. Get rid of him. He's worthless. I don't let my wife give me no head. Are you fucking kidding? I think about her dad. Are you fucking kidding me? Are you kidding me? My wife ain't gotta suck my dick. What kind of shit is that? Who said that was a requirement? She don't gotta do that. That's bullshit. I wasn't taught to do that anyway. I don't believe my mother and father got down like that because my pops was against oral sex, period. Now, don't get it fucked up. I done did it with a shitload of goddamn people, a whole bunch of ex-girlfriends, but I ain't never did that shit with her. So I married her. The amount of respect that I had for her father, I couldn't even imagine that. Well, you know, people are grown, they do it. No, people make love, nigga. That's what adults do, okay? Pornographic sex is not love, nigga. Stop it. Pussy is beautiful, nigga. Making love is better than fucking porn. It's better. It may not be fun to look at on TV, but it's a lot better to have in person. There's not a father on this earth that teaches their nature of a woman, man. It's a random thing when women get lucky. You know, a lot of y'all women, there's some shitty women that got good niggas. A lot of fucked up women got some good niggas. Believe me. But as a man, when you have children, nigga, your animalistic nature is out the window, nigga, because you don't want your kids to catch that. Listen to me. If you are doing drugs and you have children, and you sniffing coke, doing alcohol, you become an alcoholic, you become a drug abuser. When your kids go, as they get older, they go to schools, they ask the questions. When they go to physicals, does anybody in your family suffers from substance abuse or alcoholism? Does alcoholism run in your family? They ask you that. When you go to apply for life insurance, they ask you, does diabetes, does cancer, does hypertension, does alcoholism run in your family? And you're supposed to tell them yes or no. They're not going to ask you, does entanglement and pornography, addiction, lesbianism, gayism, they're not going to, you know what I mean? They don't ask you that. So you think you out the woods. They're supposed to ask you that. But they don't. So you normalize it. And you believe after you talk to your girl's father and not realizing you're going to go have a threesome with her because you're going to have her eat her cousin's pussy. And the father's clueless because he didn't teach her shit. And now she's all fucked up because now she got to walk around knowing that she had all these bodies to do all that crazy shit to her. She shouldn't even have given it introduced to it. You fellas want to impress a woman, say, nah, you ain't sucking my dick. Really? Nah, I don't like that. I don't like women sucking my dick. What's she gonna call you, gay? It would be more gay the fact that you love getting that shit sucked so much. You know what I mean? I remember my boy, man, salute to him. I'll never forget. I remember there was this girl he was dating, beautiful motherfucker around the way. I remember she tried to get that nigga head. He said, nah, don't do that. I don't like that. She was so embarrassed. She was so embarrassed the fact that she felt ashamed of herself. I ain't gonna sit here and tell you. I mean, getting my dick sucked feels amazing, but you know what I mean? At the end of the day, I got a daughter now. I got to say, oh shit, I got to watch that. You walked in on your daughter having sex with her boyfriend, okay? You're going to be a traumatized parent, man or female, especially that man, because that's your fault. That came from you, you cocksucker. Okay, it did. Oh, I never did anything around my. Yeah, but nigga, you like doing it. That's why your daughter's doing it. They tell you the apple don't fall too far from the tree. If the father's a piece of shit, the son's is liable to be a piece of shit too. That's a DNA issue. You gotta look at history. You gotta look at the history of anything. They should ask, does racism run in your family? Yeah, my grandmother, great-grandmother, they were all fucking goddamn, slave trades. You know what I mean? These are the things we gotta ask one-on-one. Instead of asking a woman what's her best position, you fucking loser. Don't even talk about sex. You'd be better off asking her, well, have you ever made love to a man? That's all. We could do any position in that. Most women don't know what no love is. They just know how to get it and, I fucked the shit out of him, broke his back, all the above. They don't know how to make love. These niggas now, they want to make love to young girls now. They want to eat their pussies out and make her feel, oh God, I just don't want to go nowhere. He wants to satisfy her. He didn't want to satisfy the old bitch, but he want to satisfy the young one. I get turned off on things I never thought I'd get turned off on now. I'm like, oh shit. You know, you think I don't want to fuck one of them badass teachers in my daughter's school? You think I don't want to fuck one of them badass parents? I can't do it. I won't. I just won't do it. That's equivalent to me paying a teacher for her to get scholar grades. You know, it's just some shit you just don't do. Because that energy carries, nigga. You know, if you're an evil person, man, you affect people around you. That's why a lot of women don't got no worth. They don't feel like they worth shit. They do all this shit to. That's why the minute a nigga cheat on you, you break it. Oh, all this shit I did for you. You start thinking all that shit you did, that slave shit. Because he was a sex slave. That's all you are to him. The minute he cheat on you, that's what you're going to feel like. I feel betrayed. Right, ladies? Oh, my God, how could he do this? How could he do that? Your father didn't teach you your value. And your value is knowing the male nature. Well, he said all men are dogs. No, darling, that's not what I'm talking about. He didn't teach you the male nature. Well, what is the male nature? Exactly my point. That's my point. Sorry. Some people want to wear that with a thing. Yo, my father too. One time I had a brother tell me, man, his father, it was these three brothers I know personally. And the oldest brother told me, the oldest brother said, my father didn't teach us about women. The middle nigga, though, the youngest one says, that's bullshit. My father taught us everything. But he's single. Nobody wants him. He's single. He's already 50 years old and single. Explain that. Because the older brother was right. I don't give a fuck what the younger one says. It doesn't matter. The proof is in the pudding, nigga. Thank you, Shay. I know someone whose intimacy is based on what music they listen to. I don't know about that. That could be a vibe. That's hard to detect. You know. We just lived in a society of groomed. Groomed people are groomed. A lot of people out here are groomed. They just been through a metamorphosis of false information. It's not true. A lot of that shit y'all did in the past is you can't even erase it. That's what sucks. That's why a lot of y'all are single. Because you don't know the nature of a man because your father didn't teach you that. Missy and Busta Rhymes. I mean, you know, if music inspires you, good music to make, yeah, but you know, that's why they got something called love music. But now people get, you know, booty shaking music now is this shit to push people in the zone. You know what I mean? They call love, these young motherfuckers call love making music grandpa music. So, I mean, that's just to show you how fucked up they are, you know? I'm not into teaching the youth. That's just never been my thing. I say this over and over again. It's just never been my thing. I'm not into them like that. But the fact that I got a daughter, I'm going to have to swallow those words one day. I was never into children like that. You know what I mean? I'm the type of person, if you got kids, I'm respectful, I'm good with kids, whatever. But I'm not into children like that. I'm not into and I say children, we're talking grown motherfuckers, teenagers, young people. I ain't talking about little kids. We're talking teenagers. I'm not into them like that. But eventually my daughter's going to be a teenager. God willing. You know what I mean? So that humbled me. Like, oh, watch your words. You got to be careful what you say. Everything matters now. A lot of my men in my age group listen to trap music. It hardens their aura. Yeah, the trap music is, you know what I mean? Trap music is exactly what it is. It's a trap. What is the trap? Nothing but a fucking garbage, a dead-end garbage can, right? That's what a trap is. Think about it. They lay out trap music. Like, I don't be around niggas that listen to that shit at all. I don't fuck with them. I don't fuck with niggas that fuck with that environment. I think trap music, men that listen to trap music should be fighting this war. We got all these good men that need to be here. They need to take all them trap music motherfuckers and put them in a war in the desert. That's what they need to be. If they so angry and it hardens their aura, let them go out there and fight. I'm not in the black. The black youth to me is not the black youth when I was a kid, because we wanted to be adults. These niggas want to be grown. It's a big difference. An adult is responsible. An adult leads the way. I mean, grown folks is just, you could be a 50-year-old fucking child. That's a grown folk. Shout out to Fatima. Good afternoon, Nate. I miss you too, darling. What's good with you? That's what it is. Fear of teaching men to deal with their daughters. Fathers fear that. That's why the world is fucked up. That is the answer. If you ever want to look at the fact, you see Rihanna in makeup, you see Riri and all that bullshit. I mean, listen, again, Rihanna is under the control of that shithole that she's sleeping with. That's the result. That's what happens when your father don't teach you the nature of man. Because if she did, she would have never been with a man like that. Matthew knows. He didn't teach them Beyonce shit. He taught her how to be a millionaire, but he ain't teaching the fucking nature of men. She didn't. You know, y'all need to watch Denzel's wife. I don't know who her father was, but god damn it, she came off. If y'all ain't got nothing like that, just on a mindset, you ain't got a man. If he not on a level of a man, even Denzel's characters were of a man. Even his character. That's why I didn't think Denzel's not a great actor to me, because he plays himself. That's all he does. You know, I'm in the old school. You know what I mean? That's what I do. That's what I'm into. He says, at this point, we need to teach ourselves to be smarter. Exactly. You got to teach yourselves to be smarter, man. Stop looking at these fucking shitty celebrities. That bitch shot that fucking house up because they had an entanglement and they did some bullshit. They went too quick. Attempted murder. How they gonna go to attempted murder? Oh, because they were in the house. What, because she shot the fence? That's not attempted murder, nigga. The fuck out of here. Nigga try to shoot my house and I tell the cops, they're not gonna, is everybody okay? Yeah, okay. Well, y'all caught the guy? Yeah. Well, we was all in the house. You should get him for attempted murder. We was upstairs. She shot the basement. The fuck out of here. But with a celebrity, oh, we're gonna charge her for attempted murder. Yeah, well, that bitch, you better make sure that bitch don't talk. Because once she gets hold of one of these motherfucking influencers, it's over. She does that jail call and they record it and tell the truth, it's finished for them. Rihanna better think. She know who shot that shit up. The woman know because she was in that house before. They was up in there getting it in and some shit happened. Rihanna probably told that bitch, fuck you, bitch, we don't want you anymore because you and A$AP Rocky, you know how the black women do. You and my man was fucking when I was in New York, you know what I mean? And she was like, fuck you, bitch. Y'all gonna diss me like that? Okay, she went online. She started talking shit. She was giving them a warning. They were ignoring her. Then she shot the house up and they arrested her. That's what happened. I don't care what they tell you. Watch, they gonna flip that shit and say the bitch, they found out she was mentally deranged. Everybody's mentally deranged. You're mentally deranged when your father didn't teach you the fucking damn rules of a man. Period. The end. If your father did not teach you the nature of men, your father has to teach you that. Your dad, not your boyfriend, not your homeboy, not your brother, not your uncle, okay? All right? Your dad. And in order for him to teach you that, he has to be walking that walk. He can't not walk the walk and teach you, because even if he tells you verbatim, what's going to end up happening is he was living a lie all the time, and it's going to affect you. Your fathers teach you the nature of man, but meanwhile, the nigga was running a goddamn sex show on the side behind your mother. It's going to affect you. You're going to catch a bullet for that. So I say this to say, ladies and gentlemen, this is pretty much it. All right? Don't believe these entanglements, man. People get down, man. Believe me, you make that girl up and put her some nice, you know what I mean? Get her hair done, and she's probably a fine bitch. Does anybody know her Instagram? I knew the minute I seen her, I said, that's ASAP Rocky's type. She's light-skinned and thick. That's how he like it. They probably were sharing his dick. Shit hit the fan, and that bitch lost her mind. She went on social media crying out for help. They wasn't responding to her, curving her, changing numbers. All right, bitch went home. She knew where they lived, and she popped up. You tell me that's a coincidence? That's like a nigga. That's like a nigga that's dating a side chick, and the chick pops up at his house. The wife got to say, well, how the fuck she know where we live? How does she know where we live? The wife has to question it. You was sloppy one way or another. How she know where we live? Okay? You think Rihanna was doing this shit in a hotel? No, they was doing that shit in the house. Nah, it's not that she talk like a freak, nigga. I mean, Glorilla and them talk like freaks, nigga. Don't mean they freaks. I don't mean shit. They freaks, nigga, because they live in that life. It's a big difference. You could talk a lot. How many girls you know that talk shit NBA and talk all that shit, and you get in a bed with them, they ain't back none of that shit up. The quiet ones you gotta watch. They say she's the same woman who shot at Nicki Minaj's house. I could believe that. Nicki Minaj does the same thing. Because Nicki Minaj likes eating pussy. That's her thing. She's a pussy eater. She probably like getting screwed. A lot of the women like that, they like getting fucked from them, nigga, and they like to suck a girl's pussy hole. That's what they do. And if they put it out there, they're gonna affect society. And you're gonna do it because a celebrity do it. You know, I'm not into pussy sucking women. That's just my thing. I'll just eliminate that. I said it ain't my thing, and probably it is their thing. And to each his own, right? But it ain't my thing. So she ain't gonna come in with that. A woman ain't gonna come to me about drug use. She know it ain't my thing. It ain't gonna be my thing. And they gonna be like, I don't fuck with women that do drugs. I say, you don't fuck with women that do drugs because you probably had a woman that you told them you're not into that. That's all it is. Once a woman know you into something, she gonna be like, she gonna deliver. That's why most women know they can fuck any man from their and take a man's husband, because they're like, I can fuck any man because that's the sex. She was groomed to believe that. And then when she lose respect for the nigga and throw it in his face, she got it up on him. You know what I'm saying? Nicki had a video praying on Coy and IG Live. Or Coy Leray? Yeah, I can see that. Coy Leray's, and she's been groomed. Look at her father. Her father's a fucking gay ass nigga. Benzino's a fucking bozo. He fucks men in Atlanta. That's why he moved out there. We don't forget that time he got caught in a hotel with that nigga. Remember that? So her father's fucked up. Look at Coy Leray. See, that's another reason. You could be a fucked up father and live in goddamn Africa and never seen your daughter. Your father could just be a piece of shit. That's a soul, especially if he living on this earth. Soul, you don't sleep on a soul, man. A soul is key. Yeah, remember that shit, Ken? I ain't forget about that shit. Benzino is a gay ass nigga. He always been gay. He was gay. You know, everybody he hate, he want to fuck. He want to fuck 50. Niggas just don't want to get caught out there. You know, down low niggas just don't want you to put that shit out there. You know what I mean? That's the thing with them, you know, but women don't know. Ask the average woman right now what man wants. It's going to be a whole bunch of bullshit. She don't even know. Women don't teach women about how men really are. They don't tell you the truth. They don't teach their daughters. They don't teach their sons. They don't teach no fucking body. Men are just terrible teachers. Even though it's in our DNA to teach, and woman to nurture. A woman's nature is to nurture. A man's nature is to teach. That's just how it's supposed to be. A man's supposed to be a leader. A woman's supposed to be the nurturer. A man, protects his castle. A woman nurtures it. That's just the nature of nature. Yeah. If he's a bad example, his advice doesn't matter, does it? His advice matters. A man's good advice always matters. Good advice is always good. But if it's a father and the father is not living his advice, it could affect the daughter or son whether he teaches them or not. You understand where I'm coming from? But it's important for him to teach her. At least he can, in other words, it's the same as like, diabetes runs in your family. So you could prevent it, but it doesn't guarantee it, but you still can do the things you have to do to prevent it, whether it happens or not. That's what I'm saying. They just teach them to go to school, that get your degree, and that's it. Right. And it's deeper than that. Nate, can I do you regarding this? Absolutely. Let me give you my so we're going to stay on this topic because I got to get out of here. But just be mindful. So that's why I told men, women are desperate for love. All you got to do is approach her. It's just that simple. It's a lottery. So you may have to approach her a lot, but eventually you will see, because they need it. They're lacking it. So if she lacks it, you understand? There's the DM right there. So ladies and gentlemen, let me get out of here. I just wanted to share this. Fathers fear teaching the nature of men to their daughters. That is the issue. Any celebrity you show me, I will challenge you. I don't give a fuck if it's Madonna. Okay? I don't care if it's Tracy Ellis Ross. Okay? Especially if a white man had a black daughter. That's worse. What the fuck is he going to teach her about black men? Or he going to talk about they criminals? It's just so she's never going to learn. So you got to go out into this guppy land and learn yourself. You are a product of the environment. The environment of this world right now is fatherless teachings of the nature of men, especially to their daughters. A woman has to be loved. A man has to be delivered. That's it. It's just that simple. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, I love you all. Class is dismissed. Have a wonderful day. Peace.
Oh! Yeah. What's up? Yeah.